children. For someone so enlightened, how can you be so blind to your own hubris? You speak of hubris. Yours is bleeding from your eyes. Absolute power is an illusion. It fades away just when you need it most. True power hides until it is ready to strike. You treat the gift like it is a weapon that you can wield. It is not.
Shalom Israel. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And I want to give a shalom to you elect Akim, pushing his word in truth and sincerity. And I want to name this lesson E's hubris, or E's hubrisness is seeping from his eyes. Alright, and this is coming from the video the Apostle Tahar did entitled E Fears That I Will Take Over. Alright, and it's going into he was playing this video. I don't know if brothers could see it on the screen, but it's from this Jake from the African Diaspora channel. And it's this video entitled Rising Mortality Rates Among White Americans Linked to Threat to Their Dominant Social Status. You know, because we in a time, you know, as Akim call it, as a Jake over. And Esau, he hates it. He can't stand it. You know. Here it is, Jake is, you know, powering up in the spirit. All right, getting their, you know, and even in a smaller sense, you know, they're getting their pride about themselves back. Meanwhile, Esau is losing it. All right, he's losing his wife to Jake. All right, his mortality rate is rising. All right, and he has done everything in his power to take us down. All right, from the Popeyes chicken sandwiches, slavery, all right, segregation. All right, when I say segregation, I mean you so-called blacks, because you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the same people. You suffer the same violence daily, all right, from the same man, and there's no coincidence in that, you know, but you're the same ones, all right, that's running this place, man. All right, when people think of fashion, who do they think of? They think of Jake, man. When they think of music, they think of Jake. All right. You know, hey, it's brothers was bringing it out to where melanin is worth more than gold. Melanin is worth more than gold. You got a lot of these basketball players now is letting their hair out, you know, letting the fro go, letting the fro go. You know, they got the they letting the beards grow. You know, so here it is. Esau don't want to let us go. And like the clip I was just playing for brothers come out of this movie, I mean it's a show called Into the Badlands. And you had the guy Pilgrim. He was trying to yield, it was basically the strongest power on earth that he was trying to yield and control on his own. All right, and the one who they called the master, all right, who had the most understanding of the power, how to use it properly, was Stephen telling him, you treat this power, all right, like a weapon. And she was basically saying, this is why it's killing you. All right, and going into what? The power of the whole planet Earth, Esau treats it like a weapon. And this is why it's killing him, man. It's seeping through his eyes. All right, his mortality rate is rising. Meanwhile, Jake is getting stronger in his spirit, man. You know? And when you go into the word, just for those brothers, for you brothers that don't know, I'll just grab it. The word hubris means excessive pride or self-confidence. In Greek tragedy, excessive pride toward or defiance of the gods leading to nemesis. So here it is. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is defiant against the Most High himself, man. And that's what he messed up. That's what he erred. All right. And when you watch the show, the guy Pilgrim, many people were trying to tell him, you know, that he was going about obtaining total control the wrong way. And this is what Esau is doing. He's obtaining it because the scriptures say, let me just grab that. I think that's in Ezekiel 35. Ezekiel chapter 35. And I'm going to start at the top. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Mount Seir is actually a place. But when you go into the scriptures, places were named after people. All right. Like Israel was actually a people before it became a place. All right. Mount Seir represents Esau Edom. All right. And saying to it, thus saith the Lord power, behold, Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. You know? And when you go back, I just want to play that the clip I just played for brothers.
Some misguided children. For someone so enlightened, how can you be so blind to your own hubris? You speak of hubris. Yours is bleeding from your eyes. Absolute power is an illusion. It fades away just when you need it the most. True power hides until it is ready to strike.
You see? So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, this is the true power, man. The true power is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And he's only dealing with the elect of Israel. All right? And they're ready to strike. We're striking through this truth. And this is why Esau is trying to take brothers' videos down. And this is how the Lord is making Esau most desolate. All right? To where those chains are being broken. When you look into the spirit. All right? Those mental chains are being broken. All right? And we coming after Esau's neck, so to speak, man. It says, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee. And I will make thee most desolate. Okay? I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. Okay? And we burning this place down through the spirit, though. All right? Not carnally. The Most High already got that, down. He already got that packed. All right? But through the spirit, as it says right here in Isaiah 11:4, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth. And don't you have brothers all throughout the four corners of the earth preaching in the chief place of concourse? All right? That's him smiting the earth with the rod of his mouth. And with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. All right? So we slaying Esau Edom now through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. This is why Esau Edom got to send his vocab Malones. All right? His G-Mens. This is why he has to, because we understand, we know in the spirit Esau is putting curses up on us. All right? But he's being broken down. And there's nothing he can do about it. All right? Because true power is on the rise, man. You are experiencing a Jake over, because thou hast a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time that their iniquity had an end. All right? And that's hubris at its finest. Here it is. You can't just gracefully bow out like you got it. Esau is going to pursue us unto his own destruction. All right? when you go into the time of Exodus, all right, did not Pharaoh pursue us all the way into the Red Sea until his own destruction? That's what Esau is going to do, man. And this place is what? Spiritually, Egypt. You know, so Esau is going to pursue Jake, all right, until the time till we get them spiritual powers and mess him up, all right? And even to the time where the chariots is coming, Esau is going to continue to still be pursuing Jake, man. You know? It says, in the time that their iniquity had an end, all right? So here it is, Esau, because he has that excessive pride, he don't give a fuck about, you know, what the Most High has planned, all right? He only cares about his own plans. And this is why he's hurting himself, man. All right? Pride is seeping through his eyes, man. I really like that show. That was a good show. The show I was just showing out him Into the Badlands. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it, you know, like the master, she had a hand around his throat, cutting off that oxygen from him, you know, cutting off that wisdom from him, like the scriptures say in Isaiah 47. I will make thee stand now in thy enchantments, O Mount Seir, you know, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountain with slain men, in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. Okay. And Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, he's coming back for us, man. The Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is coming back for us. All right. And Esau is constantly seeing it, man. Esau is constantly seeing it, man. He's seeing brothers wake up all throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. And you know, when this truth first came out in the 70s, all right, here it is. Esau was at the height of his kingdom, man. America. You know, white privilege was at its all-time high. All right, and you had Jake under you had Jake's, well, you had your foot on Jake's neck, man. You know, so how is it that little nobodies from the ghetto can receive the most powerful knowledge in this whole world, man? All right, you got to think about that. That was Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. All right, and true power, you know, it doesn't die out, man. It might be hid dormant for a little bit, but it never goes away. All right. So this is Exodus chapter 9, verse 1. All right. It says, then the Lord said unto Moses, go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, thus saith the Lord power, God of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go, and will hold them still, behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain. Actually, I want to see what that means, murrain. Exodus 9 and 3? This is a pestilence, a very grievous pestilence or plague. You know, here it is today. You look at it today through the spirit. Esau's dying off of opioids, phenolin. All right. You know, your woman is sleeping with Jake. So you know what that means. That means after a while, all right, you're going to be no more, man. All right, because we know the lineage goes off of the what? The seed of the father. So if this place did continue to go on, which Lord willing, it don't. All right, Esau Edom will really be extinct. And he can't stand the thought of that. And Yahweh shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel. All right, and the Most High is clearly making an extinction. I mean, or not an extinction, but a a, he's basically, as as a proverbial saying goes, putting a line through the sand. And the Lord appointed a set time, saying, tomorrow the Lord shall do this thing in the land. And Yahweh did that thing on the morrow, and all the cattle of Egypt died, but of the cattle of the children of Israel died not one. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Israelites dead, and the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it upon the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. And it shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains, which that word blains means blisters, upon man and upon beast throughout all the land of Egypt. And they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses sprinkled it up toward heaven. And it became a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beast. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boil was upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians. So here it is. Esau thinks he has power on the left hand side, not understanding that the power on the right hand side is actually stronger than his power. It's a time where Moses came before Pharaoh, and Moses had a staff, and the Lord commanded Moses to turn his staff into or the Lord turned Moses' staff into a snake, and it ate Pharaoh's snake, man. So the Lord was constantly showing Pharaoh signs. All right, but Esau's the one that can't get right. All right, he's prideful, man. The scriptures say pride go before destruction. All right, and the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hardened not unto him, as Yahweh has spoken unto Moses. All right, and really it's the Most High doing that, man. All right, the Most High is hardening your heart so that your destruction can be that much more greater, man. All right, he's hardening your heart so that you can fight against him in that great and terrible day. All right, and therefore the world will know for a fact that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, he's the power above all powers, man. Okay, so this is Sirach chapter 10, verse 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people. All right, an unwise king destroyeth his people, and your pride is getting your own people killed. I'm talking about you so-called white people, man. Your own pride is getting you people killed, man, because the more you afflict Israel and not take heed to the plagues that the Lord is sending you, all right, the more he's just going to mess you people up, man. But through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. All right, and it pays to be humble, man. We just did a lesson. We brothers had just did the lesson the other day. All right, the After Camp live show. It pays to be humble, and yes, it really does, man. All right, like if you go, for example, you look into your health, man. Your doctor, you might go to the doctor, he say, you gotta lay off that pork, start exercising, working out. All right, and you'll see after a while, you have more energy, you don't have to be on all that medicine. All right, you have more time to spend maybe with your kids or whatever. But if not, you continue to eat the pork, your health begins to deteriorate. You might develop diabetes, arthritis. All right, poor circulation. It might get so bad to where you have to have a limb chopped off because you were being so prideful. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. In the hand of God is the prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. Look up that word injurious. The word injurious, it says causing or likely to cause damage or harm. Damaging, harmful, detrimental, hurtful, undesirable, unhealthy. All right. Just skipping through certain synonyms. Here it is. Esau is putting chemtrails in the air. That's an injurious practice. He's giving homosexuals rights instead of condemning it. That's an injurious practice. So he's doing everything to hurt himself. Meanwhile, he actually thinks he's actually helping himself. The guy Donald Trump is a clear example of doing things by injurious practices, man. All right, pulling out of certain treaties. All right, with former allies and making more enemies than you do friends, man. That's an injurious practice. And it may not seem like it now, but it's going to be to your detriment, as it says in the book of Obadiah, the 6th verse. All right. It says, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. All right, that's 3 strikes right there, man. Unrighteous dealings. We can go all day about the unrighteous dealings. All right, the chemtrails, the white privilege. All right, the blackballing of Jake. All right, the usury upon the people. All right, how you treat your veterans. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Okay? So you're done, man. You're done. All right? And we just going to sit back and watch you hurt yourself, man. Here it is, you think you got us in the trick bag, when really you're in the trick bag, man. All right? And even we can say it till we blue in the face, and you're still not going to get it. So again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the elect. Shalom, Akim.